Welcome back, my dude. Ski D-E-I-T-A. Deida. I don't know how to say your name. Totally forgot. But either way, I appreciate that re-up on the membership. That was pretty awesome. That was like a month ago. Sorry for it taking so long for me to shout you back out here. But got us a pretty cool little custom track here on Reflex. So, any of you guys still play this game? It's kind of like a... Who the hell still plays this? I don't know. It's still a really fun game. Still cool to see some of these custom tracks that are still coming out a decade plus later for the game. Got a really badass inside rut to a triple right here. Oh, Spency boy. I got dudes adding me up on Steam, and I'm looking at that. So this track is made by... oh my God. This track is made by a dude named Croth, I think is how you say it. Let me make sure I get all these shout outs done before I start this video up here. But this is MXGP of Teutschenthal. I don't know how to say the shit, but yeah. So this track is awesome though, as far as like pre-made ruts, pre-made roughness. This is a perfect example of what Milestone should be doing with their tracks on their MXGP games. This is literally the definition of everything that is missing in a Milestone MXGP game as far as the pre-made on the tracks. I don't know how on earth you can get a random community person that can make a track like this in Reflex, but then you can't even get AAA video game developers to do it that are being paid to make a good motocross game. They can't even do it in the damn 7th installation of an MXGP game. It's unbelievable, bro. But that's what makes it what it is, dude. Like, that's what makes these motocross tracks what they are. The roughness and the ruts, that's what separates it. Like, that's what gives you the skill gap. That's what gives you the replayability and the fun factor. Because without that, it's really just a random, smooth, local vibe custom track, you know? That's what makes these tracks feel like that. Me and old Bar Squeezy had us a pretty good battle here on this track on my last live stream. This track is perfect to do some multiplayer racing on because it's got just enough of that roughness braking bump vibe where it's like just enough to make it sketchy, holding it wide ass open into these corners, trying to hit the inside ruts. It's like you'll get just enough of a pop off the braking bump to kind of like bounce you up over the inside rut that you're trying to hit. So there's a lot of balance to the skill gap of this track right here. You got to know what you're doing to really be able to hit these inside ruts. They're just big enough. If you don't get right into them, you'll do that right there. It's also got a couple of wall jump sections where you can really pick, like, do you want to try to roll it? Do you want to try to jump it halfway? Do you want to try to just sky that bitch out to the moon? Like, you know, it's got a lot of options in that sense, and it kind of got something there to, if somebody gets a good start or you crash or something, it keeps the dude in front of you in check with how difficult the track is, you know, with the pre-made ruts and the roughness, to where it gives you an opportunity to catch back up in a race, which I really like that. If you don't at least blip that throttle going into this big of ruts right here, like, good luck, bro. It'll do that right there to you. It'll just pop you off because it'll drag the foot pegs or drag the dude's elbow on the side of the rut, right? But you can sky these things out like, oh my God. There's like 3 or 4 different wall jumps that you can kind of pick whether or not you want to sky it out or not. But this is kind of that definition of what makes Reflex custom tracks so much fun right here. It's that exact kind of rut and roughness design that just really makes it on that next level of fun, because this is totally different than the stock tracks of Reflex, right? You're not going to see this kind of pre-made on a stock track on Reflex, but on top of all that, even when you get in there and you start riding on it, like the terrain deformation, at least on this track in particular, it'll do enough to change these ruts up a little bit to the point to where it makes a difference. Even when it was just 2 of us in there racing doing 5 lappers, I'm telling you, bro, it was enough to make a difference on some of these bigger inside ruts. So that was a lot of fun, man. But yeah, this track right here is awesome. Yeah, the off track is not anything to, like, you know, call home about or whatever, but I think this is pretty good, though, for a for a MXGP replica track, and it's just fun that you can still go and ride on tracks like this in a game that came out in, 2008? I mean, it's just pretty badass, dude. You can sky this one out. Ooh! Rack my sack on that one. But yeah, so either way, I'm going to give this track right here like 9 overall. I mean, it's up there, bro. Like, yeah, there might have been a couple little things could have been done to the off track or whatever, but like all in all, could you imagine if like Milestone made their track, their Teutschenthal or whatever, this kind of pre-made ruts and roughness and braking bumps and stuff? Could you imagine, bro? Like, I just can't even, man, it just makes all the difference in the world. Because that's what makes these motocross tracks like fun and replayable. And like that dude making that triple right there that far, it makes it just hard enough to where you got to be pretty much perfect if you're hitting that inside rut. And it's like with those new MXGP games, they don't even make the jumps hard enough and or sketchy enough if you come up short to where it would even matter if you hit them all the way or not, or if you come up short or whatever. And a lot of times it's not even like you got to rail. Well, there really ain't a whole lot of inside ruts in the new Milestone games, but even if there was, it's not like you'd have to rail them perfectly to be able to hit a particular jump or whatever. You know, they just don't capture the proper skill gap, replayability, fun factor to the pre-made of the track designs in those Milestone games. They just still have not figured that out to save their life, bro. Like, at all. And it's just hilarious how a random community person can come in here and make this on Reflex, right? Not even a game developer can come in here and make this shit on Reflex, and they can't even do it with a AAA company like Milestone. It's just unbelievable, to say the least. But either way, yeah, I'd say this track's like a 9 overall, or hell, even maybe a 10 overall. I don't know. This thing is up there, dude. Got roughness all over the place. Track gets chewed up. Awesome ground decal. Looks like the real life track. It's pretty cool. But definitely a little bare on the off track. I do have to say that in some areas, but it's not even that big of a deal though, because like the on track is so good that you're not even worried about looking at what's on the off track. You know, all of your attention is focused on all the ruts and the cool little character to the ruts, and like where the braking bumps are and kind of where you can find smoother lines and take inside lines. This is one of those tracks that just feels like it's got endless lines that you can hit on it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it feels like. So 140, God, Spence, going slow as hell out here. Didn't really get like a real smooth lap there. It's kind of tricky doing this where I'm trying to talk live while I'm playing the game, but you can get some good lap times going though. I think I ran like a 136 or something in when I was racing in multiplayer, which is still not like lightning fast or anything, but really fun first corner right there. Like track width feels good, jump size feels good, got enough fun factor to it. Good old fun factor, but like hitting that inside rut and still being able to triple this, it's a challenge, bro. That is so badass. Then you can carry all that speed around to huck this right here. A lot of fun on this track, man. And the corners, the way they sweep, it's like it kind of forces you to either let off the gas or get on the brakes. You know, a lot of these corners with the way the roughness works, now the corner sweeps forces you to do something, you know? If I just hold that gas wide ass open down, like it's hard to hold on to the bike, you know? It's hard to keep it straight when you do that on this track, which is the way it should be. Can't stand those tracks where you're just wide open everywhere and it doesn't matter at all. You're just wide open everywhere, going around the track like it's nothing with your eyes closed, you know? A lot of tracks and games kind of get in that habit in this arcade motocross gaming realm. But either way, difficulty I would say is probably hard on this track just because it does really force you to get on the brakes and think about what you're doing in the ruts and the corners and stuff like that, right? Roughness is adequate on this track, no doubt. This is one of those tracks where if the braking bumps were any bigger, I'm not sure you could even really get across them without the bike just totally spazzing out of shape, right? but he's got them really good size where it challenges you even for an arcade game, you know, gives you a good little challenge. So either way, awesome track right here. Appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Be back on that next one. Later, dudes. Gotta hit the triple for the boys out here. Holy, even a struggle to huck that shit when you're wide open in the rut. You just gotta rail it, dude. You just gotta rail it. You just gotta hit it just right. And even this rut right here, like, oh my. You got to sweep these corners good, you know? So, Spitzy Boy out here with the arcade motocross gaming tips. Be sure and race your own, ride your own pace, ride your own line, race your own race, and don't get arm pump, boy. Don't get thumb pump out here. It'll get you, bro. So, see you boys on that next video.